Hello students, I am Ravi Sharma. I am going to introduce you the concept of refraction of light. So it's an introduction. So we have to do it little slowly to understand what science has been told to us. Once we understand what is refraction, then we can go into the other aspects of refraction. So here we need two transparent medium. Here I am writing air in which light can travel, water in which light can travel. Same thing I write it here, but there is a reason that I will discuss little later. Air in which light can travel, water in which light can travel, because light can travel from air to water and water to air. I want to explain both at a time. Basically, this cannot have rubber here or something plastic here or something which is non-transparent things. Both of them must be transparent. You can have water and glass kind of things also. So it will be easy for you if you can remember some four values, like velocity of light in air is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second, 3 lakhs kilometers per second. Velocity of light or speed of light, because light spreads in all directions, speed of light in water, it is 2.25 less than this into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. Velocity of light in water, glass, good quality glass, is 2 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. Velocity of light in diamond, diamond is more optically dense medium, it is 1.25 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. See, these values are empirically derived. Experimentally they have calculated that values by Foucault rotating mirror, and higher level you will understand those experiments. But if you can remember these values, it will be very easy to understand refraction. You have to be with me for some time, then you will understand. So now light travels from one transparent medium, and we expect the light to go like this, straight, when it travels from air to water. Rectilinear propagation of light, that 3 cardboard experiments will be there from every small class onwards. In that, light can travel only in straight lines, it cannot travel in a curved line. So we expect the light to go straight. It is true for given medium. In air it goes straight, in water also it goes straight, but wherever it is incident, if you draw a normal there, a perpendicular, then you see that it goes into the other medium, but it bends. So this is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray, refracted ray, this is a normal. Similarly, if at all light is allowed to go from water, this is the incident ray, we expect the light to go straight according to rectilinear propagation of light. It is true within water, it is true within air, but whenever there is a change in the medium, then light, instead of going like this, goes like this. This is refracted ray, this is a normal. So we define refraction when light travels from one transparent medium to other transparent medium it bends at this surface which separates both is called interface, at the interface. The surface which separates both the media at the interface, this phenomenon is called refraction. So refraction is bending of light when it travels from one transparent medium to other transparent medium. This is a definition. Now the question is why? This happens due to difference in speeds of light. So here I have given like this. Suppose you are going on a concrete road, suddenly your front tire is into a sand, then you try to skid because front tire speed got reduced and back tire speed is same. Like that only when light comes like this. So if at all this is a point I am talking about, this portion of the wave front, the wave light part is going to be on a slower side and this is going to be at a higher side. So it bends like this. So due to difference in speeds of light in both the media. So it is coming from say air to water. In air it is having higher speed 3 into 10 power 8. In water it is having less speed 2.25 into 10 power 8. So that difference in the speeds make it bend. Now the point comes, which is to be called as medium 1, which is to be called as medium 2. So the medium in which incident ray exists, that is called medium 1. The medium in which refracted ray exists, that is called medium 2. So in this case the incident ray is here. So this is a medium 1, this is a medium 2. So this is a very small point, but it's a very, very important point which beginners can't understand. Rarer medium, denser medium is different. Medium 1, medium 2 is different. Medium 1 is a medium in which incident ray exists. Medium 2 is a medium in which refracted ray exists. Medium 1 is a medium in which incident ray exists. Medium 2 is a medium in which refracted ray exists. That's nothing to do with rarer and denser. Now we talk about what is a rarer medium, what is a denser medium. So in whichever medium speed is high, that medium is rarer medium. That means it's allowing the light to go. For example, you imagine early morning traffic will not be there, you will go fast. So we will call it rarer traffic. And whenever you are going in the 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock mid-afternoon, then there will be high traffic. At that time your vehicle will not pass easily. Then we say that traffic is dense. Same thing is applicable here. And it has nothing to do with the density of the medium. Basically, this air is rarer. This water is denser. Let me separate it clearly. Same thing here, but 1, 2 here it's different from 1, 2 here, but you cannot write this as rarer medium. This is denser only. Rarer. I hope you understood the main difference. Denser and rarer are to be told basing on the speeds. The medium in which speed is low is rarer medium. The medium in which speed is high is a denser medium. Similarly, 1, 2, medium 1, medium 2. Medium 1 is the one medium in which incident ray exists. Medium 2 is a medium, that means from where it is coming and where it is going. Incoming is incident ray, outgoing is refracted ray. So that, like that, if you have a point of view, it will be easy. And while solving problems, what you are writing on that we can see. Now the interesting point is, what happens if light comes from rarer medium to denser medium? Then it bends towards the normal. This here, this is it, bends towards normal. How do I know? You can do this experiment. If you have an aquarium, in that you can incident a laser beam that bends. So it's an experimental fact. Similarly here, when light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, this is what is the path expected. It goes like this, bends away from normal. So what the things we can tell? This is angle of incidence. Incident ray making with the normal. That angle is incident angle of incidence. This is the refracted ray. The angle made by refracted ray with the normal is angle of refraction. According to this logic, I will be greater than R. Angle I will be greater than R. Angle R. Whereas in reflection you have studied both the angles will be equal. Angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. But here it is not true like that. Here it is angle of incidence. See here. In air it was the angle of incidence, in water it was angle of refraction. Now it is because medium 1 incident ray. So this is this angle total from here to here, that is angle of refraction. And here angle of incidence will be less than angle of refraction. Here angle of incidence will be greater, here angle of refraction will be greater. So if you can't remember in terms of angle, remember like this. If light comes from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards normal. Don't say 1 to 2. It can be, this can be 1, this can be 2, this can be 1, that can be 2. So tell the words rarer, denser. When light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. When light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. Wantedly I kept water down because many of times water will be down only. So first I kept air here, water here. Again if you change this as water, you keep it here, air you keep it here, you have to follow that rule. When light comes from rarer to denser it bends towards normal, denser to rarer it bends away from the normal. In this case, I will be greater than R. In this case, I will be less than R. I hope you understood. So these things, first we need to understand it. So 1 minute revision we are doing. We are introducing refraction of light. What is basically refraction of light? Light travels straight in any given medium, transparent medium, and it will not go into non-transparent opaque mediums. In a given medium it travels straight, but whenever it goes from one transparent medium to other transparent medium, it bends at the interface. Wherever it touches the surface of separation, it bends there. This phenomena is called as refraction of light. Now the question is, why this is happening? Answer is difference in the speeds of light in both the media. If at all it is little strain to you or to your brain in the beginning, but still if you can remember these 4 values, we can connect the concept of Snell's law. So how I and R are related? I am telling this is greater than, this is less than, but how are they connected? They are connected with a law called Snell's law. Sin I by sin R is equal to something I will talk about. So that connection will be easy if you know the speeds and by heart them. So 4 values you remember: velocity of light in air, velocity of light in water, velocity of light in gas, and velocity of light in diamond. Not more than that. Any more number you want, you can go through a logarithm book or data book, we call it as. There you can find many glycerin, so many things will be there. Flint glass, crown glass, different things will be there. There you can understand that. Now coming to this, which should be called 1, which should be called medium 2. The medium in which incident ray exists or incoming ray exists, that is medium 1. Outgoing ray medium is called medium 2. That means from point of incidence we are talking about. Next, which is rarer medium, which is denser medium. The medium in which speed is low is denser medium. The medium in which speed is high is called rarer medium. If your speed is high, you are allowed to go. Next, what is how light travels from rarer to denser medium? When it travels from rarer to denser, it bends towards the normal. When it travels from denser to rarer, it bends away from the normal. Next, in this case, angle I will be greater than angle R. In this case, angle I will be less than angle R. This is the preliminary introduction of refraction. What is refraction? Why refraction? What is the cause of refraction? That is speeds difference. Which medium to be called 1, which medium to be called 2, which is to be called denser medium, which is to be called rarer medium. When light travels from rarer to denser, what happens? Denser to rarer, what happens? Now, if at all this light ray, this follows the principle of reversibility. If at all this you make incident ray, then automatically this will become the refracted ray. That means light comes like this, go like this. That same thing will be true. When light travels from rarer, we expect it to go like this, but it comes this side, bends towards the normal. Story remains same. Principle of reversibility hold true. This ray which is coming from here, it going like this. If you send the ray like this, it will go like that. So this principle of reversibility also you can remember. But when it comes from rarer to denser, it bends towards normal. When it comes from rarer to denser to rarer, it bends away from the normal. I cleared some portion of the board and I am now continuing. Laws of refraction. There are 2 laws. Like reflection we have 2 laws. Like refraction also we have 2 laws. Law 1. This ray which we call it as incident ray, comma, this ray we call it as previously we were used to call reflected ray. Now it is refracted ray. And the normal what you are drawn at point of incidence lie in same plane. That means you incident a ray like this, it is not possible the refracted ray to go like this. It will, all of them will be in the same plane. You incident like this, in this plane only the refracted ray exists. If you incident like this, in that plane only refracted ray exists. So incident ray, refracted ray and the normal lie in the same plane, which is similar to that law of we already discussed, first law in reflection, similar way. Now comes the interesting part, law 2, which is very famous, known as Snell's law. Sentences I write after 5 minutes, but listen how it is to be stated first. This angle and this angle are not equal, but one is greater than other is less than the other. So the ratio of sine of angle of incidence Angle of incidence will be there in, now question is angle of incidence will be there in rarer medium or denser medium. It can be in anywhere, because angle of incidence here it is in denser medium, angle of incidence here it is in rarer medium. So it is better not to use the word rarer, denser, medium of incidence 1. So sign of the angle of incidence in medium 1 to sign off angle of refraction in medium 2. No need to write it. Always incident will be in the medium 1 or refracted will be in the medium 2. Incoming, outgoing is equal to ratio of speeds of light in both the media. Suppose medium 1 speed is V1, in medium 2 speed is V2. In this case, if you take air and water, air, the speed you have to write this value 3 into 10 power 8. In water you have to write this value, that ratio. Once you divide those speeds, speed of light in air is constant, speed of light in water is constant. That division will be a constant. So that will be a constant. That constant we call optical density factor of this medium with respect to this medium, which is also called refractive index, is equal to a constant mu. Nowadays they are using n for the symbol, but old version we got addicted from past many years, 20 years I am teaching, no. So refractive index of the medium 2, the second medium, that is where the refracted ray lies, with respect to medium 1. So if you write in ratio form, it is mu 2 by mu 1. Mu 2 by mu 1. This law we state it as Snell's law. I'll state it very slowly because I don't have place to write it here. If some student is seeing this video, he can write the law. The ratio of sine of angle of incidence in medium 1 to sine of angle of refraction in medium 2 is equal to ratio of speeds of light in the respective transparent media is equal to a constant known as refractive index of the second medium with respect to first medium. Please don't use the word rarer, denser. That can be written as mu 2 by mu 1. The order is 1 2 1 2 2 1. Like that you can remember 1 2 1 2 and 2 1. So using this we can do few problems. Before that, I want to tell you a one more connection. Whenever light travels in one particular medium, frequency whenever it travels from one medium to other medium, frequency remains constant. So V is equal to n lambda wave wise. N is frequency, lambda is wavelength, n lambda wavelength and frequency. So frequency part remains same, so it is lambda 1 by lambda 2. It comes. So in future I connect this. For time being it's not required. 1 2 1 2 1 2, but in mu wise 2 1 it is. You can remember in that way. Anyhow, we do so many problems that nobody forgets this. Quickly I tell. Snell's law. The ratio of sine of angle of incidence of light in medium 1 to sine of angle of refraction in medium 2 is equal to ratio of velocities of light in both the transparent media, which is equal to a constant known as refractive index of the medium 2 with respect to the medium 1. This is called Snell's law. Yeah, we shall continue this concept. We will find refractive index of few things. So now I am going to do a few problems. There are two types of refractive indices. One is called absolute refractive index, other is relative refractive index. Absolute refractive index is refractive index of any material with respect to air. Suppose we have water with respect to air, glass with respect to air. Air is taken to be the base. So refractive index of water with respect to air, refractive index of glass with respect to air, refractive index of diamond with respect to air. This kind of refractive indices we call absolute refractive index of water, absolute refractive index of glass, absolute refractive index of diamond. Actually it is we have to write with respect to air, with respect to air or vacuum, with respect to air or vacuum. But air is the most common thing that's why we can skip off that particular part and you can write mu W, mu G, mu D. That means they tell you cannot have refractive index without comparison. But if they tell refractive index of water without a mention, then it is with respect to air. So relative refractive index we will pause for a moment, we will continue with this. Now you know that water by air, so here 2 by 1 is 1 by 2, so you have to write velocity by velocity, velocity by velocity, that is speed by speed. So here water air is there, you have to write air water, air glass, air diamond. Now I ask you to by heart, keeping in view of all these things, those values. Try to write that values. 3 into 10 power 8 is common in all of them. I mean meters per second. By. What is velocity in water? 2.25 into 10 power 8. 2 into 10 power 8. 1.25 into 10 power 8. So 10 power 8, 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 10 power 8 gets cancelled. This can be written as 3 by 225. You can write as 300 by 225. Remove this point. So 25 table. How many times it goes? 25 9s are, 25 12s are. So 4 by 3. That is the refractive index of water without a mention, that is with respect to air. Now it is 3 by 2, very famous. All the children remember it, 1.5. That is 3 by 1.25, that is 300 by 125. 25 5s are, 25 12s are. This is 12 by 5. If you divide it, 5 1s are 5, 5 2s are 10 point, how much it will be? 0.4. So 2.4. Refractive index of diamond is 2.4 because its refractive index is very high, and we'll combine with the concept of total internal reflection. That's why diamond gives more and more brilliance. You can see more bright. So this kind of refractive indices, whatever I covered now, anything with respect to air, we call it as absolute refractive index. So when you are writing absolute refractive index, you don't need to mention it. That is, if you mention or not, it is understood. So refractive index of water with respect to air, you can write it as refractive index of water. But if at all you write refractive index of water or glass with respect to water, mu g, this you can write it as mu g with respect to water. That you have to mention it. You cannot tell refractive index of glass without a mention of water, because other person cannot understand with respect to what you have taken. In that case, it comes out to be velocity of light in 2 by 1 will come, VW by VG. They are reciprocal. 1 2 will come as 2 1. This I continue. Velocity of light in water, 2.25 into 10 to the power of 8. Velocity of light in glass, 2 into 10 to the power of 8. 10 power 8, 10 power 8 gets cancelled. 225 by 200. I removed the point. 25 8s are, 25 9s are. 9 by 8. That is the refractive index of glass with respect to water. Water with respect to glass will be ulta, 8 by 9. Some people think that refractive index cannot be less than 1. Absolute refractive index cannot be less than 1. Relative refractive index can be less than 1 also, because light can travel from rarer to denser as well as denser to rarer. Rarest is air or vacuum out of all the medium. So now this kind of refractive index is called relative refractive index. Whenever you are telling here, you are not supposed to tell refractive index of glass. You have to tell refractive index of glass with respect to water. You have to compare and tell, because this kind of refractive index we call relative refractive index. Relative refractive index. Now, for example, I want the same thing, that is relative refractive index of glass with respect to water. Then a simple tricky part, glass with respect to air by water with respect to air. If you do it, you will get it. Glass with respect to air value is 1.5. That is nothing but 3 by 2. Water with respect to air, just before I rubbed it off, it was how much? Glass with respect to air, water with respect to air, 2.25 by 300 by 225, which was, so 25 9s are 4 by 3. 4 by 3. Now multiply this here, 3 3s are 9, 2 4s are 8. The same value what you got it, you can get it. That means no need to turn around like this and come. taking refractive indices, taking speeds, dividing speeds and coming directly. Next time if I tell you refractive index of diamond with respect to glass, just write refractive index of diamond 2.4, refractive index of glass 1.5, that's all. This is the answer. 24 by 15. 3 8s are 3 5s are. That's the refractive index of diamond with respect to glass. So apart from this, we will commit some more things. Absolute refractive index of air, absolute refractive index of water, absolute refractive index of glass, absolute refractive index of diamond. This also we will by heart, so that it will be convenient for the next time. I connected speeds with refractive indices. Now refractive indices relative with absolute refractive indices. Next I connect refractive indices with sin I, sin r. That sin I, sin r we can combine with trigonometry ratios, that sides and angles. So everything will be here only. In single formula, everything will be there. I repeat. Speeds we connected to refractive indices we connect to relative refractive indices, reflective refractive indices connected to sin I, sin r, angles we can find, by knowing angles we can find sides. This kind of questioning will be possible. So mu air is 1, this is 4 by 3, this is 3 by 2 which is 1.5, this is 2.4. So in the beginning you remembered this, it was advantageous to you. Now if you remember this, this will be proven to be advantageous in future whenever you are doing problems related to that. So this is about absolute refractive indices. Nobody remembers relative refractive indices, because you remember relative refractive index of diamond with respect to glass. They may ask give glass with respect to diamond. Anything changes they can do. Absolute refractive indices, again, like that values will be there in tabular columns of data books called log books. This also will be there in data books. So you can by heart them. Once you know, you can find relative refractive index. Yeah, I have cleared the board to the required extent that speeds are rubbed it off. Now we can connect angles and refractive indices, but the refractive indices must be absolute. So let me write sin I1 by sin R2 is equal to mu2 by mu1. You cross multiply this here, mu1 sin I1 is equal to mu2 sin R2. You can drop off the subscripts. Mu times of sine of angle in that medium, mu times of, this is 1, this is 1, mu times of sine of angle in that medium is equal to constant, or mu 1 times of sin theta 1 is equal to mu 2 times of sin theta 2 is equal to mu 3 times of sin theta 3, and so on will be constant. That means you are going from air to water to glass to diamond. Then the angles will follow this rule. I is not, previously you have seen in this lecture only, I is less than R, R is less than I when light travels from rarer to denser, denser to rarer. Now it is equal to what? How to, this is I means this is R, this is I means this is R. So one, if you take any two mediums, similarly these two mediums, this is I, this is R, this is I, this is R. If it is first medium, incident ray is there, that is medium 1. Refracted ray is there, that is medium 2. Using this concept we can find angles. Let us take light rays coming from air going to water. Absolute refractive index of air is 1. Refractive index of water is 4 by 3. Now let us give this angle with respect to normal. This is say 60 degrees. Now we know that it will not go straight, it will bend. It will bend towards normal. That will come with the calculation. Now mu 1 sin theta 1 is equal to mu 2 sin theta 2. For the first time I am writing, but next time onwards I will do. This is a refractive index. Mu in air, sine of angle of incidence in medium air is equal to mu of water, sine of angle of refraction in water. You know mu air 1, sine of angle sin 60 is equal to mu water 4 by 3, sine of angle of refraction in water. So this is nothing but sin R, we will get it. That means light travel from air to water. Sin 60 is equal to, you can cross multiply this also, 3 here, 4 here is equal to sin theta W. If you want theta W or angle of refraction, you have to inverse this sign and they calculate this value, use a calculator or natural science table. From that you will get the value of that. In this way If at all we take another problem, shall I write it here? Okay, take a screenshot and remember it. So light travels from, this is the normal, light travels from one medium and it goes into the other medium. This angle is known to me, this is 45 degrees. This medium is diamond. This is say glass. And I don't know this, it bends this side or that side also. Actually I know it because it's going from denser to rarer. It bends away from the normal, but yet if this is an incident ray. So diamond refractive index 2.4 mu diamond into sine of angle of this one, theta 1, that is sine 45 is equal to mu 2 sine theta 2. What is the glass refractive index? 1.5 into sine of angle of refraction. This angle which actually bends, this R will get it. This is the refracted ray, this is the interface. Interface, previously we were doing like this, lights coming, line going like this. Now they are taking interface, this side one medium, that side one medium. See, if this is the interface, normal will be like this. If this is the interface, normal will be like this. So we got the answer. Sine R, you can get it from it. Even for example, you don't know this and you know this is equal to 60 and you don't know angle of incidence. What to do? Pause for a moment, go for that. 2.4 into sine I is equal to 1.5 into sine of that angle which you know, 60. You can get sine of angle of incidence. So by knowing speeds we connected to refractive indices. By knowing refractive indices, that is absolute refractive index, we connected to relative refractive indices. By knowing relative and absolute refractive indices, we connected to angles. Once angles are connected, any angle is a ratio of sides of a triangle. Sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, secant theta, cosecant theta, all of them. By knowing one angle, that means you have to now have command on trigonometry. Once you have command on trigonometry, you can connect. See here, speeds you connected to refractive indices, that is absolute refractive indices to relative refractive indices, relative refractive indices to angle finding. After finding the angle, you have to connect angles using trigonometry to the sides. They may ask what is this distance, what is that length, so many things they ask. So that is the next portion. So this is the introduction of refraction. I told you what are the things I told, just try to understand them. Two laws of refraction, incident ray, refracted ray, normal lie in the same plane, and the Snell's law. Using Snell's law we done some problems. We have found out 3 absolute refractive indices, 2 relative refractive indices, then we found out angles. You can find any angle using this, but you have to by heart 4 things, 4 speeds and 4 refractive indices. For an introductory course this is required.